Alright guys, I'm tired. This is my second recording of the day, but I gotta get it done because I was so excited doing the research. I've finally come to a conclusion, so I want to get this battle to you guys. This is going to be Hit from Dragon Ball Super. I'm going to be referencing manga and anime versus Silver Surfer from Marvel. If you like these kind of battles, power scaling, lore videos, stuff like that, make sure to check out my channel if you haven't subscribed already. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button on this video. And with that being said, we're going to start off first with Hit, and I hope you enjoy. Now, Hit, of course, just to give you an idea of the character he is, was first introduced in Chapter 12 of the Super manga. Hit is an assassin from a different universe, and he came into the game with extreme clout. Champa, Beerus' fat-ass brother, who is also a fellow god of destruction, is a rival to Beerus also in power. Beerus is easily multiversal with scaling, and despite this, Champa still seems nervous, at least in the manga, around Hit. The reputation of Hit worries a god of destruction, which is really impressive. Hit is best known in his own verse for his awesome manipulation of time. The reason this is impressive in relation to the verse is that manipulating time is actually considered highly illegal in the verse. The reason for this is that messing with time itself can have deadly unforeseen consequences. Now, everybody knows Hit breaks this law, but no one is brave enough to arrest him. Yes, Hit is that strong and that feared that no one would dare arrest him. As a final little introduction to his character, he is also 1,000 years old. This is important because we see clearly throughout his time in the series, and for you guys, you'll see clearly throughout this video, that Hit is one of the more intelligent combatants in the verse due to all of his skill, experience, and his willpower. For strength, although he does get stronger throughout the series, even in his debut in the manga, Hit was an absolute nightmare to fight. Suppressed base Hit, toying with his foes, massively outscaled Goku and Vegeta in their base. In fact, he wasn't even pressed to actually even try until Goku went into Super Saiyan Red God mode. Now, this is crazy because this means even the weakest form of Hit we've seen, with him toying around, has multiversal AP. I say it's multiversal because the God Red Goku he fought was hypothesized by Whis himself to already have surpassed Blue God Vegeta. This Blue God Vegeta mode is already way above the Red Goku that made Universe Plus Super Saiyan 3 look trash, and then scrapped suppressed Beerus. So, the fact that they are so many times above the Goku form that fought Beerus easily scales to multiversal in my opinion. To secure the multiversal AP argument bag for Hit, Hit was able to put on a decent performance against Jiren in the tournament. He actually got Jiren to fight back against him, and if you watch Comics Explained old video, you know Jiren solos Marvel with hands. So obviously Hit has amazing AP scaling that only improves throughout the show. By the way, obviously doesn't solo. I actually do get a few comments where people don't understand my jokes. Clearly a joke. Move on. Anyways, for speed, there is no doubt that prior to fighting in the Void, which I'll explain the importance of later, Hit was already a speed demon and massively faster than light. He casually dodged a raging Vegeta. Universe 7 in his intro fights, they couldn't even process his moves, and it took Super Saiyan Red to actually make Hit really have to try and move around. Even early on, Hit trying was able to dodge point-blank blasts from Blue Goku. Hit blends his natural speed with skill, technique, and his time skip abilities to make himself an elusive combatant. After his first appearance, Hit got significantly faster. This version of Hit I'm referencing kept up with and even initially was evading Jiren. To do so with a character who rejected a Kaioken x 20 God Blue Goku like a bad stepchild is insanely impressive. This also occurred in the Null Realm, a place that is absent of time. This also secures the inaccessible speed argument for Hit. For durability, Hit has consistently taken multiversal hits and kept it moving. He's also fought God Goku, Dispo, who was able to press the hell out of Golden Frieza, and was temporarily holding Jiren in his time trap, which is also an AP feat. This should scale his durability massively above the first version of Hit we saw. Given how the rule in the DB verse is that if you have power you can outmuscle hacks, this should mean that most hacks of a multiversal degree, Hit should be able to at least resist. For intelligence, Hit has 1,000 years of experience and it shows. Goku, who does evolve and adapt in fights, gets bullied tactically by Hit, as did Vegeta. Dispo got picked apart by Hit, the same Dispo who was putting in work on Frieza. Hit constantly noted things and adjusts, which makes sense given his role as an assassin. In almost all fights Hit has been shown in, he takes the early advantages in them given his hacks and fight IQ. By the way, at the very least, the abilities Hit should have knowledge on from all his time includes teleporting, precog, time manip, phasing, energy manip, TK, telepathy, matter manipulation, power drains and amps, after images and illusions, hand-to-hand combat, long-range combat, and assassination techniques, as well as dimensional hopping. Yeah, it's a lot. There's probably a lot more, but off top, that's a lot of stuff he already knows about. Skills also tie into his hacks, but it is obvious that Hit's one of the top tiers in skill in the verse, and this is predicated upon martial arts. Like, what I mean by this is this verse, a lot of them are stupid people, but a lot of them martial artists, and they pride themselves on fighting. So being very talented fighters also includes being decently IQ'd as fighters. You don't have to be book smart, but you got to be fight smart. And Hit is the elite of the elite in this verse when it comes to that. And he even finds ways to win when he's constantly suppressing himself because he's not allowed to kill. He has to deal with that fact all the time, which dampens him because he's an assassin who mostly uses lethal techniques. So with a lot of weapons suppressed, he's still slapping around characters that scale to multiversal and have been fighting for years. First hack to talk about is time skip. Hit uses this ability to move slightly ahead in time, allowing him better placement and evasion. Hit can control the length of time on this move to confuse opponents. Going back in time to neg his time stuff won't work, as it is explained, Hit does not alter events with his time use. So he doesn't alter the actual official timeline when he's using his time abilities. So like if you say, hey, I'm going to go back in the timeline 20 minutes, it won't change anything about the fight because he's not affecting the actual timeline. In terms of prowess with time manipulation, Whis and onlookers state Hit freezes time around all others but himself at times. Hit can also manip this so that he can allow others to move in time as well. His control, at least on localized time, at the very least, is well honed. Because Hit improves throughout fights quite literally, even if you gain immunity to his move, he can improve and overpower your immunity as he did to Kaioken Goku. This is impressive as well given his time manip doesn't really drain Hit much, so he can try this move on you and increase it and not have to worry too much about the stamina drain. In a weird move that's almost like an alternate to the move Flash is used, Hit can essentially perception and speed drain you via time shift. This is when Hit slows time and perception specifically around you. This binds you to being slower on all levels. Hit doesn't just simply abuse time hacks. He has his own personal dimension of stored time. He uses this to phase out of attacks and avoid the L's. This makes it really hard to fight as it usually takes a bit to realize Hit actually isn't even there. He's using a different dimension. Hit, by the way, does not just phase himself. This can be used to hide and phase his blasts and attacks. He used this technique to bypass Goku's defenses and rock him in the heart. This is a lethal move typically. Another aspect of Hit incorporating his dimension into combat is that he can actually attack you while not present. That is, he can phase you into his dimension and send an attack from it to your dimension. Literally, dimensional long-range attack. Hit can confuse his opponents with his energy fake-outs. Hit produces image clones of himself that have his similar energy. This even confused Jiren. This ability allows Hit to move around swiftly in the fight, allowing him to look for openings. Finally, a last look at his adaptability. Hit can evolve during fights to outlast you. This occurred in several different instances, one example being adapting to Dispo's speed. He's also adapted to power-ups and developed immunity to his abilities. So, even if you adapt to him, he can adapt to you adapting to him. It's pretty crazy. It really is a scary trait that Hit possesses, and this validates his rep as the premier assassin. Now, let's talk about everyone's favorite Silver Surfer. Now, Nornrad was just a dude chasing a bag like a normal guy when Galactus pulled up from his afternoon adventures and needed an afternoon snack. Norn agreed to be Galactus' herald in order to save his people because, of course, Galactus' snacks are planets. Silver Surfer was then born, a being blessed with some of the power cosmic, the power of the universal constant that is Galactus. Surfer's task is to find planets for Galactus to eat, but Surfer's also always getting into other stuff that doesn't involve that task. In terms of AP, it does vary for Surfer, but thanks to his massive power source, Surfer is capable of amping himself if needed. Surfer has shown that even at his worst, his raw power blasts can level multiple galaxies casually, and it is stated to be capable of destroying everything in the universe. For reference, Marvel's 616 universe alone has multiple dimensions inside of it, and is also referred to as infinite and endless. A pissed off Surfer was able to get into a grappling match with Mephisto and actually did well. Mephisto, aka Jobfisto, is capable of battling Skyfather tier beings whose power can casually destroy multiverses. Surfer also was able to power a cosmic, he was overpowering a cosmic enslaver in an energy battle. This being enslaved the heroes on Earth, and this includes powerhouses like Hulk, but Surfer was able to pull up and actually beat him. Classic Thanos himself views Silver Surfer as a legitimate threat. This same Thanos can thrash Captain Marvel and Ben Grimm at the same time. Yes, Big Ben Grimm. This same Ben Grimm tanked a blast from Galactus. So, being a physical threat to even the old school Thanos is quite impressive. While the everyday Surfer is multi-galaxy to universal, he has shown that in cases of major battles, he can use more of the power cosmic to reach multiversal ranges of power. Yes, he does have some feats above that too, but those to me are outliers. Still, multiversal is achievable for Surfer if he's pissed, which is obvious likely here. So, speed is the next category. Speed is where even Surfer haters have to chill out. Surfer is consistently one of the fastest heroes in Marvel. His speed alone has been shown to have the ability to defy time and space, and even traverse it with speed. For those skeptical of his raw speed being this potent, it is directly stated that his cosmic speed actually warps time and space itself. This is why he can time travel with his raw speed. It is not a normal speed, and it breaks the speed equation. In quantifiable, or at least as close to quantifiable as we can get, terms for his speed, it is stated in a Fantastic Four crossover that Surfer can indeed traverse countless light years in just moments. So yeah, Homeboy can fly countless light years in just a few minutes if he has to. Traversing and fighting across entire galaxies is casual speed for Surfer. MFTL combat is the consistent norm for his class of speed. He also can move in realms lacking time entirely, similar to what Hit did. So Hit doesn't have an advantage if you try the inaccessible argument. For durability, Surfer easily scales to near Skyfather levels. He casually tanked the simultaneous explosion of millions of stars in his face and found the scene to be fascinating. Took 0 damage, by the way. You can even go as far as try to argue that in this event he was actually tanking the start of the multiverse. Surfer has shown he is capable of tanking being unmade on all levels at the same time. The Requiem run this came from was quite wild, by the way. It's not like he's constantly dealing with stuff like this, but to ever even at least show this at some point is crazy. Surfer has blatantly shown his own AP doesn't harm him. This happened in an older run, where a being captured Surfer's blast and instantly reversed it on Surfer. Surfer was fine tanking his own AP. Surfer has a solid resume of drain resistance, even of his own life force. He was grabbed by a being of anti-life, and he was fine. Surfer also has incredible feats of resisting mind hacks. He did so briefly against the Mind Stone, all while already hurt, so this was wild, and he was facing Thanos, who was using stones. The reason for his power and durability stems from the remaking of him after Galactus brought him in. His new build is thousands of years ahead of anything even Reed Richards can comprehend. I personally see Surfer's durability consistently being above his AP, and I think it makes sense given his unique build. Now for intelligence, Surfer has countless years of experience as a herald and is accustomed to his power. This allows him to pull off complex techniques like molecular manip mid-fight. In strategy, with stats equalized, Surfer was able to get the advantage over Thanos. Thanos himself has centuries of experience as a cosmic goon. To be able to outpace Thanos in strategic chess is quite impressive. His intelligence also comes from his years of serving Galactus. Missions have had Surfer traverse the multiverse, and he literally is learning new things in several different dimensions. For skill, like I mentioned before, Surfer proved he scaled at least similar to Thanos. Thanos has brawled with the champion of the universe, who had one of the stones at the time. Champion is stated to know thousands of martial arts styles and form. Surfer possibly scales to this via feats, and his cosmic awareness makes this more of a reasonable argument that he could just learn and know martial arts that he hasn't even practiced yet. For hacks, Surfer has plenty. One of his wild ones is his reality warping. Surfer can use the power cosmic to recreate entire areas that were destroyed in battle, showing the complexity of his reality warping. Surfer's power as a reality warper is so extreme that if he has a really bad dream, it can passively warp the world around him, threatening even characters like the Fantastic Four. Surfer also has wild energy manipulation. He has faced down a universe of darkness, consuming him and restored light to it, saving himself. His production of new energy matches his manipulation of already existing energy. What I mean by that is he's equally as talented at both. Surfer's reality warping does allow him to manipulate life. He restored life to a dead tiger who died to police brutality. It was wild. Anyways, however, the combat application of such a power is indeed a little questionable. I don't really know how much benefit it will be in battle. Due to his cosmic speed, or if needed just using cosmic power, Surfer can indeed traverse time. The board he uses is as strong as him, and is a device even Galactus finds impressive. The board can regenerate, fly, and heal. It also will do whatever Surfer thinks of. The board itself is completely unaffected from even massive supernovas. Surfer's power cosmic shields have been shown to auto-kick in if Surfer becomes instantly overwhelmed. This happened when he was blasted with a force beyond his comprehension. By the way, this does obviously debunk the whole cosmic awareness is nigh omniscience. It isn't, but still these auto shields are quite helpful. Later on, it is shown and it appears that Surfer's knowledge and awareness indeed grows over the runs. He understands the fundamental laws of creation. He understands the purpose of Galactus. So he's at least Reed Richards level, which is quite the compliment. Such awareness, if allowed time, Surfer can learn and adjust even if it's a foreign concept or power to him. Overall, Surfer is a figure known throughout the universe for his unfortunate role as a mitigator of destruction. Surfer is saving creation by helping Galactus perform his natural job, but it does pain him to do this. Still, the power granted by Galactus allows Surfer to hang with some of the heaviest hitters in the verse, and a serious Surfer is a threat to powerhouses like classic Thanos. He has notable wins and great showings against foes like Classic Loki, and if not taken serious, Surfer can put you down either via Power Cosmic or just straight up fisticuffs. So, how do I see this battle playing out? Well, I do think Hit's consistently a lot stronger with his attacks. I think he hits a lot harder than Surfer consistently. Surfer can take it there and eventually match that strength, but I do think Hit hits harder. In raw speed, I think Surfer is faster. I indeed think Surfer is... I do think he's overrated in a lot of areas, especially in forums, but his speed is quite impressive. He has several high-tier speed showings. I do think he's consistently faster than Hit, and Hit's really going to have to use hacks to counteract that speed difference. Durability-wise, both can resist hacks. I think it's roughly the same, especially given the fact that Hit can, use his ability to adapt and adjust. And he starts off with the ability to overcome hacks with just raw AP. And he should, at least in the beginning, be stronger than Surfer. So he should overcome hacks in the beginning pretty easily. And Surfer already has showcased he has high tier durability. So I'm not worried about him with hacks either. Intelligence, I think it's about the same. While Surfer has the Power Cosmic, he's an idiot. He's literally been snuck up on before by goons of Dr. Doom who just slapped the helmet on him because they distracted him with a bright light. Like, he also got slumped from behind by Ben Grimm. He does have a lot of kind of dumb showings, or showings where he doesn't utilize that intelligence like he should, whereas Hit never really has that moment. So I do think it's even. I definitely don't think the Power Cosmic suddenly puts Surfer intelligence above Hit. I don't think that's going to happen in the fight, and I think it's pretty relative. Skill-wise, same thing. Think it's pretty relative. Hacks, abilities, and gear, I think Surfer's a little more versatile, but I do think Hit has hacks potent enough to make it relative in terms of the comparison. So they both take some edges, they both tie in a lot of areas. How do I see it playing out? Now, I do think the Hit we saw in the beginning of the manga would be a really good fight for Surfer. Surfer would start off faster, Hit would use time skip to avoid these hits and land his own. And here's the problem. This is the weakest form of Hit. I'm not convinced normal Surfer beats the weakest form of Hit. However, the weakest form of Hit is nowhere near where he is in the Tournament of Power. And those punches from him, those just like casual blows, are really gonna damage Surfer. And I don't know how many he can take. I definitely think Surfer can adjust to time manip and use raw power, but like, he can't time travel to neg Hit. That's not going to work because Hit's time manip is in his own dimension. So I think that Hit is going to land a few hits, and by the time Surfer can take it to that level that he needs to take it to, it's too late. He's wearing down, and just a few hits from Hit is going to be enough for Hit to either phase and hit him with a massive blast that bypasses Surfer's defenses, or just a regular hit and takes him out. Either way it is, I don't think Surfer will have enough time to get millions of times stronger than his normal, reach multiversal, because, I think he's multi-galaxy to universal. I don't think it's a million times different now that I think about it with normal, but I think it's a big enough difference between normal Surfer and Raging Surfer that Hit will take him out before he can match the power. In the end, I favor Hit. Now, if you want to see a rematch featuring a version of Surfer that is indeed ready to take it there right away, which is Worthy Surfer, let me know in the comment section. I'll run it back quickly if you guys show support on this video. Anyways, I favor Hit. If you guys disagree, let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching. If you want more super content on my channel, let me know and show support by liking the video. Anyways, it's been your favorite villain, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.